Good evening, Titan Nation. What's going on? Welcome to a very special edition of Titans and Truth, and it is, ta-da, the 50th episode of Titans and Truth here, as another milestone has been made. We are at episode 50, so we're halfway to 100, and I'm definitely going to keep bringing everything on for you guys this evening. I also have some people joining on Facebook as well, and so if you get this on YouTube, please do share the show out on Facebook, on Twitter. Let the people know. Talk about it on Instagram. I have a new Instagram page, so you don't have to go at blue_enforcer1914. You could go to the official Titans and Truth Instagram page. That is at Titans_N_Truth. That is the new Titans and Truth fan page on Instagram. So you can definitely go there and check out the channel, check out the page. I will definitely be trying to update things as much as possible. You do have the Facebook page, Titans and Truth Fans. Also, you got my Twitter at capital TNT Blue Enforcer, and that's capital TNT B and then lowercase LUEN4CER. That's the Twitter. And then also the website, www.titansandtruth.wixsite.com/titansandtruth. That's where you can go to, check out the website as I get ready to keep it updated for you and everything. And we're going to keep doing some things on the website to get it prepared as the draft approaches. So, the big news that I wanted to get to first on the show this evening is talking about the fact, for the last week and a half, we were in the Ndamukong Suh sweepstakes. And, we had a shot at landing Ndamukong Suh after he got cut from the Miami Dolphins. It was originally us and the New Orleans Saints going after him. And then after we met with him, he went home to Portland, to maybe take a look at his options between us and New Orleans. Then all of a sudden, here come the Los Angeles Rams wanting to stick their nose in this fight. They decide, what the heck? They just wanted to get in on it. I mean, they already traded for Aqib Talib. They traded for Marcus Peters. And so they already have a legit defense. They just figure, what the heck? Get greedy. Come on, let's try to get Ndamukong Suh as well. And so they got to talk to him on Tuesday of last week and made the pitch to him and everything. And so comes to find out about a week later, he decides to go to LA on a 1-year, $14 million contract. And I kept thinking that the longer that this thing went on, that it looked more likely that he may come to Tennessee. Unfortunately, I was wrong. Ndamukong Suh ended up going to the Los Angeles Rams. I guess he decided, playing with Aaron Donald is better than playing with Jarrell Casey and Arakpo and Morgan on the defense. And, I kind of felt, at first I kind of thought it was a slap to the face. But he decided to go where he thought it was his best chance to win. And, it was coming out that he didn't want, he could face lesser double teams in LA and everything with that. Which, the word that came to my mind when I hear that, don't want to face you want to face less double teams, is lazy. That's what the kind of word comes to my mind when I think about that. I'm like, okay, you're one of the better defensive linemen in the league. Of course, everybody's going to try to double team you. They're going to look to stop you first. You're the threat. And for him to say that, it kind of felt like he was wanting to be a little lazy. He didn't want to do a lot of work. He would want Aaron Donald to get the double teams, and he gets rewarded off of it. So that was kind of what I thought about that. I kind of thought it was a little bit of an insult to us, but hey, it's the NFL. That's business. That's exactly how that has happened. I know I saw some people on Facebook saying, Chris Epps says, Sue is dead to me. Pretty much that's how we got to look at it, you know. It would have been nice to have him. I was disappointed. I was disappointed we didn't get him. But oh my God, I'm not just gonna be like, oh my God, we didn't get a Dominican Sue. What are we gonna do? We're not gonna be good on defense without him. I'm not gonna be like that. I'm not going to do that. So we're going to be all right without him. We still have a very good defense, even if he ain't a part of it. There's still some other things we can go. Liddell comes and saying, we don't need him anyways. I agree with that. We don't need him. And so, that was just, it's unfortunate we didn't get him, but hey, we move on. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And so, one thing that I thought drew him to LA was the city itself. Tinseltown. It's Hollywood. That's where all the stars are. And Ndamukong Suh probably could be like a diva a little bit. He could go out there to Hollywood, maybe try to get himself a movie deal or something like that. Don't know if anybody will go see a movie with Ndamukong Suh in it, but hey, to each their own. It's what is best for him. Is he out on the West Coast, closer to his family at home, so I can't really blame him for that particular reason. But anyway, enough about that. The reason now that things are going better now is that, maybe we look at some other guys. There's still another guy out on the market that I think we should really take a look at, and that is Jonathan Hankins, who was cut from the Indianapolis Colts recently. So he's still out there on the market. He took a couple of visits. I believe he took a visit to Washington, and I can't remember the other team he went to go see, but he is still available out there, and is a guy that I think we should definitely target. He could be a very good nose tackle, and Daquan Jones still plays at the defensive end spot, but that does open up a need. As far as defensive line. I'm just looking at some other comments. Shane comes in saying Sue is a B ass. We try to keep it friendly here. Bitch ass. I try to keep it friendly here, but that was kind of what he said on that. And we're gonna go further than them this year. I hope so, Shane. I really do hope so. I think we can, definitely have a shot at that. And I know some people are having some fun and some other guys. And that's right. I'm going to get into the thing with John Robinson in just a moment as well, as he got extended also. I forgot about that. But Jonathan Hankins is the guy I think we should definitely take a look at. Is a guy that I think could definitely benefit and come in and play in this 3-4 defense, whether it be at defensive end or at nose guard. So I think that would be a very good pickup. But let's talk about the guys that did sign with us recently. First off, we do have a new we have really two new offensive linemen. One is offensive lineman Kevin Paphill from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's played in 53 career games in 4 seasons, started in 33 of them. He's very versatile, can play all 5 positions on the line, and so he agreed to terms a few days ago, and he's going to be brought in to compete for the guard spot, either to start, maybe potentially start over Quinn Spain, or to back up Spain, or Josh Klein. And also he could play tackle in a pinch if Jack Conklin cannot go and, something happens with Dennis Kelly. But I think Dennis Kelly will be first up. Also, another offensive lineman that got signed from the Houston Texans, Xavier Su'a-Filo. Hopefully I said his name right. Definitely a very solid offensive lineman. Played left guard for quite a few years in Houston. I thought he was probably one of the better offensive linemen, probably the best offensive lineman on that line, even though that's really not saying much. But I think he's a pretty decent offensive lineman. Now, he could legit win the job over Quinn Spain if he don't step his game up. And so a lot of pressure is mainly on Quinn Spain coming into this offseason. Can he earn a big-time contract and still keep his starting spot, or is somebody going to beat him out for it? We're going to find out about that. And one of the bigger signings that we have is Blaine Gabbert. We have a new backup quarterback. Blaine Gabbert coming from the Arizona Cardinals. As most of you remember, he was drafted 11th in the draft to the Jacksonville Jaguars. No, 10th. 10th overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2011. And he hasn't had the greatest career, but he has done some good in some other spots. When he got up to San Francisco, did pretty good, started for a while over Colin Kaepernick, and also in Arizona started quite a few games for the injured Carson Palmer, and he won a couple of big games. He beat us in the game because we did some stupid stuff, and offensively we just couldn't get off the ground. And then also he beat the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. So a couple of big wins that he had last year. Now, one thing about Blaine Gabbert that is good is that you don't really have to change a whole lot with him in the offense. He's a little bit mobile than Matt Castle, and has a pretty decent arm, and did play in a spread offense in Missouri at times, so that could be pretty good for him. But let's be honest, anybody is better than Matt Castle, right? I would seem to think so. And so going back and looking at some comments. I know some people talked about Sue having an ego. Chris F says time for Austin Johnson to shine. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Chris Epps feels I'd be shocked if we signed anybody else on the D line. That would be very interesting if somebody else does come on the D line. And what's up, Matt Necron? How's it going? Hope RPO is doing really well. And Liddell, of course, I was just talking about Blaine Gabbert, the backup quarterback. Tyler comes in saying Sue has an ego. I bet if he gets double teamed and Donald gets all the sacks, he will complain. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I mean, Aaron Donald's Defensive Player of the Year. He gonna still get his regardless. So we're gonna see what Ndamukong Suh says about that. Wayne Grindstaff comes and says, I think this Titan team could be as good as the 2000 team. I hope so, because that 2000 team was very, very good. But we got to see what Mike Vrabel does as a coach. That's going to be very, very key. Let's see. Tyler coming in saying, I don't think it should be allowed for a city to have more than one team. Rams and Chargers, Lakers and Clippers. Hey, New York has Knicks and Nets. Got Yankees and Mets, Rangers and Islanders. I mean, some of the big cities, some of those really, really huge cities, like LA and like New York, are gonna have multiple teams, in basketball or in football, because those are the two biggest markets in the country, two of the biggest markets in the world. So, Tyler says, my opinion, we need a true anchor, a leader of men, a beast in the middle. If the defense, so far, for me, is inside linebacker. Let's talk about needs going into the draft. And that's something I'm going to go back to that right. If I didn't, I apologize. Chris Epps saying, re-upping Daquan, a very solid move, bringing him back. OBJ I'll talk about a little bit later. There's a little bit of something that I'll go into about OBJ. It's really not a lot that I got to say about that, but that's something that I'll definitely go into in just a bit. But I think we made some very solid signings this week with the two offensive linemen and also Blaine Gabbert coming in. So I think those are some very solid signings indeed. Tyler coming in saying, Hank has just followed Vrabel on Twitter just the other day. Lots of people saying Hankins will be a better fit at nose. Hope he go for him. I don't know if we'll go for him, Tyler. I hope he does. That would be very interesting. Liddell, tighten up. Good comments. Thank you for that, Tyler. Liddell, I appreciate that. We definitely gonna tighten up. Logan comes in saying Austin's gonna get his shot. Austin Johnson. I hope he does get his shot. Tyler Busen says We need an athletic linebacker, inside linebacker, either Vander Esch, Evans, or Jefferson. And that's a very interesting take on that. I definitely like that spot as well. And I saw, some people talking earlier before I came on with the trouble that I had with the camera as far as biggest needs. And we're definitely going to go into that in just a minute. And before we do go into that, I want to give a shout out to a couple of sponsors of Titans in Truth. I want to give a shout out first off to my girl, Miss Allison Conley and Rose Jewels Boutique. And you should definitely check her out. You should definitely check out Rose Jewels Boutique, because I mean, she makes some very, very, very good jewelry. I really can tell you that. She makes it for women. She makes it for men. She can make it in styles that you won't see anywhere else. She will make it custom to you. Ladies, if you're watching, Miss Sharon, Miss Loretta, if you're watching, any of you could definitely get something that fits your style, fits you, something that is unique, that is something with you. You can get some charms put on that are specific about you. That would be something really, really cool. I did that for my wife a couple of years ago. I did a charm bracelet that has some charms with like music notes, because she loved music, that had the health. So those get. And I apologize for any technical difficulties. You get it on YouTube and see some freezing. It's just my computer acting up. We're going to keep the show going. But fellas, she makes jewelry for the men too. So you can definitely get some bracelet or some bling yourself as well. You can look cool and you can look shiny while you're at Titan games too. So definitely something we could definitely take a look at there. So check out Rose Jewels Boutique. And also, as you can see, as y'all can see, I'm gonna stand up for a second. Check out this Titans in Truth sweaty hoodie that I have on. That is compliments of Craft Gasmet Creations. That is over with my cousin LaCrystal Cleveland. She did a great job on this. Of course, my information is on the back. Check out my Instagram page, the Titans in Truth page. You can look at the photos. You'll see this hoodie, the shirt that I have, and also the sweatshirt that I have as well. So I have all of that. That is something really cool. Check her out at Craft Gasmet Creations on Instagram and Facebook. You can get a hoodie just like this one. You can get a hoodie just like this, exactly the way this is, and you can support not only Craft Gasmet Creations but Titans in Truth as well. She might give you a good price for it. The sweatshirts, the t-shirts. I want to see some other people rocking Titans in Truth gear. So definitely go check her out. Kiha, aloha to you, sir. And Craft Gasmet Creations, I love it. I am happy with it. She can do it in any size that fits you. Just give her time to get the material, and she can make it for you. It won't take long either. All right, but back on Titans in Truth. The question I put out was, what is the biggest positions of need? The biggest three positions of need now after free agency, looking like the Titans are heading more towards looking at the draft. So, for example, I saw some other comments. Chris Epps says linebacker. Shane says defensive tackle. Linebacker, strong safety. Chris Epps also said wide receiver. Tyler Musa says biggest free agent need is defensive tackle. Hank's draft is gonna have to be inside linebacker or edge first. Let's see. I'm trying to think who else. Chris also mentioned safety. That's pretty good. So, definitely some good ones. And I'm looking at a few more. I'm just scrolling down, but I see a lot of people said inside linebacker, safety, defensive line, and that's a lot of where I was going towards with that. I'm just looking down a few more comments and everything. So for the most part, I see a lot of people talking either inside linebacker, edge, strong safety, or defensive tackle. And that's exactly where I think we're going with that. I think as of right now, the number one need, and I know everybody's talking pass rusher, our number one need is inside linebacker. You know, Avery Williamson's gone to the Jets. Wesley Woodyard is getting a little bit up there in age, even though he had a brilliant year last year. And also, you know, Jayon Brown is more of a guy for third down and coverage. You know, he's not a three-down linebacker. We need a three-down linebacker who can be a beast in the middle and could be that leader of the defense, a guy that can not only help against the run, but cover in the pass, against the pass as well. Of course, some other guys talking about Tyler coming and said we are thin at D-line after cutting Klug and Sylvester Williams. Brandon says I think we need to go after defensive tackle for depth. And those are very good points. Chris F said I'm kind of gonna miss Sly for some reason. Sly Williams. He did a good take for me during training camp when they were out at Centennial High School in Brentwood. I appreciate that, but he wasn't very good, y'all. That's just the honest to God truth. But I agree. I think inside linebacker is our biggest need. Then after that would be an edge rusher. And then last but not least would be, unless we get Hankins, a 3-4 defensive end or a defensive lineman, maybe a nose tackle, something like that. I think those are our three positions of the biggest needs. I think guard, you can kind of take that off the board with Pep Hill and Suafilo signing. So I don't think guard is going to really be that big of a need either. With Blaine Gabbert, backup quarterback, kind of goes down the list too. And with Dion Lewis, I don't think running back is going to be as big of a need. Now, they may pick up a running back maybe in the later rounds, maybe in the 5th or 6th round, but it's not a dire need. Inside linebacker, pass rusher, or 3-4 defensive end is a dire need, in my honest opinion. And you know, in this draft, I agree. You know, Tyler comes up a big point. You know, let me see. No, Brandon came up with the point. I apologize. Said, I don't think picking up players is over. I think we will get players through trades at draft or before. J-Rob and Vrabel are chess players like Belichick. I agree. I don't think it's over with, and I do think in this draft, John Robinson's going to make some trades. He's going to do some finagling in this draft. That's what he's good at. And I think he's going to do something to pick up some more picks or pick up some more players. I definitely see that happening. And I was doing some thinking about this on my way to work yesterday. And I said, I wondered to myself, I wonder how many trades John Robinson's going to make in his draft. I put the over-under at about 2.5. I don't know if he'll make around 3 or more trades, but I think he'll definitely make 2 trades in this draft. I really do believe he's going to do that. I think he's going to make a couple of trades in this draft. And so I want everybody to comment, how many trades do you think John Robinson will make in this draft? You know, comment on YouTube when you're seeing this or on Facebook. I see a lot of people are having fun. This is probably one of the most live Facebook lives of this show that I've had. And that's cool. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. I do see, you know, some other comments as far as outside linebacker, edge rusher, you know, more wide receivers. You know, I'm seeing Tyler, you're right. Yes, go blue with Michigan going to the Final Four. Shout out to the Michigan Wolverines. Absolutely. You know, yeah, tight end, I don't think it's the biggest need. I think it's one that you could get maybe in the 4th or 5th round if it's possible. And Logan, you're absolutely right with pass rusher. We do. Both biggest positions that I think of need. and I definitely like what we could be looking at as far as the draft. And so what I went ahead and did, and this is my first ever mock draft that I did. I just did this one on Fanspeak, the mock draft simulator, fanspeak.com. And it's actually a pretty cool website. They tell you have different draft boards that you can use, whether it is walterfootball.com or from Bleacher Report, Matt Miller, or Fanspeak has their own draft board, and I use that one for the first time. So I'll probably be doing some mock drafts and doing some stuff like that. I'll put this information on Facebook and Instagram probably by tomorrow. But here's my first mock draft. This is the Blue Enforcer mock draft 1.0. And so my first pick in the first round, and I guarantee you this is not how the draft is going to go. This is just how it went for me on Fanspeak. First round, my first pick at number 25 was Marcus Davenport, the edge rusher from Texas San Antonio. I saw him on the board as the top available player. I couldn't pass him up. I mean, I think he's a very, very good pass rusher. He needs to get off his blocks a little bit better and develop some other moves, but I think he's very quick off the football, and he could cause some havoc off of the edge. So that was my first pick. Second round, I went with a defensive lineman, Harrison Phillips from Stanford. He could play defensive end or nose. Very versatile, a very intelligent player. Of course, you're going to Stanford. So he's a very, very good player that I thought I could get in the second round. Third round, I decided to have a little fun with this one. I saw this guy kind of creeping up the board a little bit. I'm like, I just had to snatch him. And that's Anthony Miller, the wide receiver from my alma mater of the University of Memphis. I mean, this guy went from a walk-on to being one of the best wide receivers in the country. And, I mean, the fact that he slipped to the third round, I thought I had to take him. He was a steal to me. And he was a big help to Riley Ferguson. He could play in the slot. He could play outside. Either way, I think he would be a heck of a pickup. Round 4. This guy was at the top of the board. Again, even though I don't think tight end is the biggest need, Hayden Hurst from South Carolina was available in the 4th round. So I went ahead and picked him up. You know, I figured, hey, another tight end can't hurt, but in the 4th round, I think you're getting excellent value. In the 5th round, I finally was able to get an inside linebacker because the linebackers I wanted kept getting taken in earlier rounds. So I couldn't get the guys that I wanted, but I ended up getting a guy named Jack Keachie from Wisconsin. Never heard of him. I will have to do some work on him if he's a guy that comes up. But I just saw he was one of the top inside linebackers on the board at that time. So that's why I picked him. 6th round pick, I decided to go local, and I went with another linebacker in Oren Burks from Vanderbilt. And there's a lot of good things that have been told about that I've heard about this kid, that he could be, you know, he's a team player. He can play multiple positions. He can play inside linebacker. He can cover, play safety. He could also be maybe in the box linebacker, or even come off the edge a little bit from time to time. So a very, very versatile player out of Vanderbilt. And I know John Robinson and Mike Vrabel have talked to him because they were at Vanderbilt's pro day, and so they probably did get a chance to speak with him. Very much so. So, I mean, that was a very interesting pickup on that. But that is my first mock draft. Albeit it's not perfect. I didn't expect it to be. But I think I made some solid picks. And, you know, I'll probably be doing another mock draft maybe in another week or two. I'll be checking it out because I know I'll be out of town. So I don't know how much time I'm going to have next week. But I am going to try my very best to try to do a show. It may be a very, very short show, maybe a little bit shorter than this one, but I'm going to be out of town in Oklahoma City, but I'm definitely going to try to see if I can squeeze in the show, maybe just doing a quickie 2.0 mock draft for you, and maybe previewing a position of need. So that might be something that I do next. But I'm going to go back and read some comments that I didn't get a chance to read before. Just going back. And of course I saw some people. Mel Kiper has us picking Harold Landry at 25. I think Todd McShay still has us with a tight end. I don't know what is up with some of these so-called draft experts and tight ends in the first round. I mean, that's not the biggest position right now. We need something way more than a tight end. We don't need a tight end so early. So I don't know why people are talking about that. But I mean, there might be some good players. Let's see. Logan comes and said, I need to start thinking about successors for Rapper Morgan. Of course, I mentioned that before. Chris F said, everybody keeps forgetting about Antoine Woods. True. But he's got to earn his spot now. He has to earn his spot on this team. He's been on the practice squad the last couple of years. He hasn't been able to scratch the main roster. He better step up. And so Tyler says, linebacker strong position in the draft. Pass rusher not so much unless in first round. I mean, I think there's still some pass rushers in the second round. But I think after that, yeah, it gets a little thin. And let's see. Brandon saying, why are we passing? Brandon Bauer saying, why are we passing on Cushion even though he got his demons? Because Cushion is one more suspension away from being suspended for the entire year. This last year he was suspended for 10 games for being on PEDs. If he gets suspended again, he'll be out for the season. That's not a risk worth investing in. Just my honest opinion. Now, if we get halfway through the season and something ain't working, then I can see his draft picking him up halfway through the year. But right now, no. I think that's too much of a risk. And so I'm looking at some other things. I'm still totally convinced J-Rob will draft a quarterback. Just a Band-Aid. He's more of a game manager, not a true quarterback, as Tyler was saying. Maybe in the 6th round. I don't think it'll be any time sooner than that. Chris comes and said we need one more running back. I don't really know if we need a running back right now. Maybe in the later rounds, I could see it. Kyle Lauletta is the man to draft a quarterback, Logan Gillespie. You know, I heard Zach Bingham of A to Z Sports talk about this kid from Richmond a couple of times on the show. Austin Stanley, if you can verify that for me, please do on the show. But he was a guy who was talking about out of Richmond. I don't really know nothing about him. I had to do some research on him. But, you know, if he's any good as Zach has said he is, then maybe in the 5th round I can look at that. But I don't know. We'll have to definitely check that out. But that's just some thoughts on on the draft and everything. And, you know, a lot of people are saying we're definitely becoming the Titans of the Patriots of the South. I don't know about that, but we are taking some philosophies that the Patriots are using. And so now I want to talk about 2 other things before we end the show. And first off is, I just want to get this out the way. This Odell Beckham idea. And that, what I think about that is, OBJ is a good player on the field. Off the field, he is an absolute headache. And, you know, it was coming out that he said that he will not step foot on the football field until he has a new contract, whether it's with the Giants or with somebody else. And he wants to be paid like a quarterback. Wide receiver is an important position, but it is not quarterback, OBJ. There's no GM in his right mind that is going to pay you $20 million a year. The highest paid wide receiver is Antonio Brown, and he's getting paid $16 million. You better be up there with multiple Pro Bowls, and you better be getting to a Super Bowl with Eli. And I don't think he's gotten to a Super Bowl yet with Eli. You're talking Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, AJ Green. Now those guys deserve that kind of money. Now, excuse me, I will say OBJ deserves the contract that Sammy Watkins got in Kansas City. That's the contract that OBJ should have gotten. Because Sammy Watkins is not better than Odell Beckham Jr. I'm sorry, that's the truth. But there were rumors out that the Tennessee Titans could be a team that could trade for OBJ. I don't see that happening. He's not a team first guy. He gets in trouble off the field. It'll be more of a headache than we want to deal with. So I don't see that happening. And they're talking about the Giants wanting a first round pick for him. John Robinson believes too much in draft capital to give a first round pick up, especially a first round pick that we need desperately. Now, if he's talking maybe a second or a third round pick and we could work up some kind of a deal, maybe he takes a player or something like that, and they give us a little something, maybe a fourth or third round pick or something like that, which I know won't happen, but maybe something like that, then we might be able to take a look at a deal. But other than that, no, I don't see that happening. Plus, OBJ wants a new contract. Right now, we got too many other people that we got to deal with. Taylor Lewan, Marcus Mariota, coming up, to name a few. So I don't think J-Rob is going to give up a lot for OBJ. I just don't see that happening. And so here's some other comments. I saw some people saying, Tyler said J-Rob wouldn't give up that much for a diva. Brandon is saying J-Rob ain't that stupid. Logan says almost gave it up for Brandon Cooks last year. Brandon Cooks is a different player. He ain't no problem outside of the locker room. He's a team player. I can see that for Brandon Cooks, not for OBJ. Let's see. Logan comes in saying Lauletta is a stud. He's talking about the quarterback. People knock him on arm strength, but his film doesn't lie. He won MVP in the Senior Bowl. And, of course, he says he lives in Richmond, been watching for a while. Well, hey, he's close to it. He definitely knows. So, that's definitely a pretty good watch that, you see that with Lauletta. We'll have to definitely find out. But yeah, OBJ, I don't see that happening. Unless it's at a price that J-Rob is willing to go for and is at a trade that J-Rob likes. If anything, walk away from the table, please. Now, the other subject that I want to talk about, and at this time next week, a lot of us are going to be gathering downtown on Lower Broadway in Nashville for the unveiling of the new Tennessee Titan uniforms. And Amy Adams Strunk has, come out and said she's really looking forward to this. And, hopefully this will help as far as helping us land the draft and everything with that. But, I definitely looking forward to seeing what the new uniforms are going to look like. I want to see if it is about the same as the old ones, or is it a really, really big change? I've heard some people say that it's a change, but it's not drastic. Zach of A to Z Sports came out, I believe it was Tuesday. He said he believed that he had word that the helmet was going to be navy blue instead of white. And I wouldn't mind it being navy blue, as long as it ain't one that's similar to the Texans, because the Texans have a navy blue helmet. But I wouldn't mind it being different. I want the uniform to at least show a little bit of difference and not be exactly the same as the old uniform. But I'm definitely very excited. I hate I'm not going to be in town to see it, but hopefully somebody will record it and it'll be on YouTube or on the Titans website at some point so I can see the new uniforms. But I look forward to see what the new uniforms are going to look like. And from what I hear, a lot of people inside the building think it's going to be cool and think that we're going to like it as well. Tyler comes out and says, I hope they don't suck. They're going to be done red and gray. There'll probably be some red in it, but red ain't going to be the primary color, I don't think, from what I've heard. And of course, Logan comes and saying, I like the matty blue or gray helmet. Now I have heard, and I could be wrong, that there is a little bit of gray in there. So we'll have to see what it looks like on that, but I'm definitely looking forward to the unveiling of the new uniforms. The unveiling will be at 7:30 p.m. on Broadway. And there's a concert with Florida Georgia Line performing, and I believe they're going to start the festivities around 4 p.m. So definitely want to check that out. But people, please send me some photos. Send me some photos of the uniforms. Show me some footage from you at the unveiling. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there. If I wasn't already going out of town, I would have been there with bells on. But yeah. Let me know about that, but I am definitely looking forward to seeing what the new uniforms are looking like. But I guarantee you, for what I've heard, it's not going to be it's not going to be a logo change because they've went ahead and put a lot of money into the locker room and into the stadium with the Flamehead logo. Now I can see a little bit of difference to it, but I don't know if it'll be that much of a difference. But I definitely look forward to seeing it. Now, Chris Epps comes in and says, Amy Armstrong says significant but not drastic difference. And that's absolutely right. That's what I meant to say. Significant but not drastic. That is absolutely right. And so I think it's going to be fun and everything with that. So I definitely look forward to seeing what that's looking like. But before we get out of here, tonight, you know, I did watch the college basketball. I know everybody's brackets are shot. Congratulations to Villanova, to Kansas, to another team that I'm a huge fan of. The Michigan Wolverines. And also the story of the entire tournament, Loyola Chicago. Congratulations to the Ramblers making it to the Final Four. And Sister Jean Schmidt, she is the youngest 98-year-old I have ever seen. I hope to be like her when I get up to that point. And that'll probably be about another 63 years. I hope I make it that far. I hope the Lord bless me to make it that far. But Sister Jean, I mean, she's been an inspiration to that team. She's been their good luck charm. Because of her, they've gotten all the way there. And now they could be playing for a national championship, but they'll be going up against the Michigan Wolverines. We'll see how that turns out. I have one bracket that has Villanova winning it all. I just picked it. I thought that was a smart, objective pick. We'll see what happens with that. My other bracket, I had North Carolina winning. Of course, they got bounced, so I'm not really worried about that. But the Final Four first games are Saturday, and then the national championship is Monday. So I definitely look forward to seeing some of those games. But definitely congratulations to all four teams that are making it. And so Tyler says, I'll get you a Michigan shirt. We win the tournament. Very cool of you. I hope it's a national championship shirt, because I do have a regular Michigan shirt, and I do have a Michigan hat. You're not going to see it on the YouTube channel, but on Facebook you'll probably see it. It was hanging up there. It says Michigan Go Blue on there, so you know I do like that. Let's see. Brandon comes out and says, just seen a mock word Maurice Hurst is mocked us at 25. Brandon, let me know who, which mock draft that was. Whose mock draft was it on there? Let's see. Wayne Grindstaff comes and says she is awesome. Yes, Sister Jean is awesome. Absolutely. I definitely like Sister Jean. But Final Four is coming up. I'll definitely be watching. I'm probably finna get ready to get up out of here, y'all. Bombshell topic right quick. I'm actually finna leave off because I'm about to go hit the kitchen and cook up a big dinner. About to cook me up some tilapia, some teriyaki tilapia with some fried rice. And I'm gonna go ahead and cook that in my big wok. If y'all saw my picture from a few days ago, I did some ground chicken burgers the other day. So, you know, I like to dabble around in the kitchen a little bit and everything. So comment to me later on what is your favorite dish that you cooked for the first time. Something that you didn't know that you could get at the restaurant that you just said, you know what, I'm gonna experiment, give it a try, and it turned out pretty good. So let me know of that off air and everything, y'all. But I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, get off of this thing tonight, get in the kitchen, cook up something, probably watch me some wrestling, and maybe see if I can catch the episode of Empire. If I can't, hey, I will watch it on demand. So y'all, I'm gonna holler at you. Got love for y'all. Tighten up. I will be talking to y'all real soon. Okay, y'all, I'm signing off. I'm getting up out of here. Got love for y'all. Thank you for joining in. Make sure y'all join the page too. Join the page. Follow at Titans and Truth on Instagram. I'll holler. Okay, did it stop? Is